Hey there everybody, and happy Halloween! I'm Joe Disney Guy, and around this time last year we took a look at the Disney Channel original movie Halloweentown. Well, it's been a year, so I can't think of a better time to look at the sequel to this movie. So, let's not waste any more time and dive right into Halloweentown II, Kalabar's Revenge. So we open up with Marnie giving us a recap of the last movie and find out that it's been 2 years since her grandmother, Aggie, moved in with the family in the human world. And once again, it's Halloween night at the Cromwell house, which means that Aggie and Gwen are once again at odds with each other.
I can't let your mother spoil my fun every day of the year.
Mother?
Oh, hello, dear.
I spend all of my time trying to keep you from turning my own daughters against me. Now you're going to corrupt all the children in the neighborhood.
Well, wait a minute, I thought that Gwen and Aggie were all good now. Wasn't that one of the major resolutions of the first movie? It's a little odd they didn't carry that over, no? Well, it seems like the major argument these days is over Marnie, who Aggie wants to come live with her in Halloweentown for a year after she graduates high school. But Gwen has a different opinion.
I want you to learn what I know, too. Magic can give you whatever you wish for. Nothing's worth anything if you can get it just by wishing.
You know, I gotta be honest, I actually really like the message that Gwen is giving to Marnie here. It's a shame that we literally never revisit this point throughout the rest of the movie. Oh well, it's a missed opportunity, I guess. So while Aggie reminisces about Halloweentown, new neighbors Cal and his dad Alex visit the party, and immediately both Marnie and Gwen are smitten with the new pair. Can I just address something really quick here? I want to make a movement to ban all subplots like this. We've seen it a million times. Both the parent and child end up falling in love with another parent-child duo. Does nobody else see just the blatant problem here with that? Let's say for a second that the parents do end up getting together. That makes the children step-siblings. So, if you do end up dating, you're dating your stepbrother, or possibly even worse, if you end up breaking up, that's going to make family reunions like 90% more awkward. So, can we all agree to just banish subplots like this out of existence? So Marnie shows Cal around the house, and in a terrible effort to try and impress him, shows off Aggie's secret bedroom, complete with all of her witchcraft essentials. After showing off Aggie's spell book, Cal shows his real intentions and steals the book behind Marnie's back, leaving the party early and destroying the bus stop to Halloweentown. When Aggie's magical bag stops working, she decides to ask Gwen about bringing Marnie to Halloweentown to see what the matter is.
And here I thought we were going to avoid the annual family meltdown.
Oh, Dylan, you wet blanket, you. You still annoy me so much. Glad to see that at least something carried over from the first movie. Gwen reluctantly agrees, but when Marnie and Aggie go to summon the bus to Halloweentown, it doesn't work. So instead, they just summon their own portal directly into the center of town. Alright. Hold on, time out, rewind, stop. They can just summon a portal? Why did they ever have to use the bus then? Why was Cal destroying the bus stop even a plot point if they could just poof into Halloweentown? It makes no sense. But all is not well in Halloweentown, as everything is gray and dreary, and even the monsters, including Marnie's friend Luke, have all started to become humans.
Come on, Grandma. Humans aren't this boring.
No. I should say, this is the caricature of humans in Halloweentown. Just as humans make fun of us from the mortal world at Halloween.
Aggie determines that Halloweentown must be under a spell, and calls back to Dylan and Sophie to check for her spell book. But when they can't find it, Aggie decides to go back to the human world. But unfortunately, their portal trick doesn't work this time. You see what happens, movie? When you end up breaking the rules that you yourself set up, then I just don't feel bad for you when your cheat codes don't work. Cal then appears as a giant head in a brick wall to reveal that it was he who stole the spellbook, because he's actually the son of Kalabar, the villain from the last movie, and he's out to finish his dad's work by taking over the human world.
So then that whole thing, your so-called dad, the tour of the house, it was just to get the book.
No, I could have stolen the book anytime. See, I wanted you to show it to me because you felt something between us. And you did.
Yikes, that's a particularly jerk move. Oh yeah, I could have stolen the book whenever. I just wanted to trick you, for laughs. Cold move, bro. Aggie says that the only way to reverse the spell is to say the spell backwards, so her and Marnie rush to Aggie's house to find her spare spellbook and reverse the curse. Luke's gray spell is mysteriously broken, but they can't find the spellbook anywhere and deem it to be lost, so they decide to go to the house of Gort, a place where all lost things in the human world and Halloweentown transport to. So I want to address another plot point that's kind of been bothering me before we move any further. So we established that witches and warlocks all have individual personalized spellbooks, right? And evidently Cal's family didn't have this gray spell in their book, otherwise they wouldn't have had to steal somebody else's spellbook to learn it. Well then, why do the Cromwells have this spell in theirs? Aren't they like the self-appointed protectors of Halloweentown? It just seems a little odd to me that the good guys would have such an evil and powerful spell of destruction in their book, no? Gort, who's also been affected by the gray spell, says that he sold all of his books in a yard sale, but the group can't even go out to look for it because Cal has them trapped in the house. To make matters worse, the gray spell starts to take over Aggie, but not before she gives Marnie and Luke a time travel spell who poof back into time to try to find the lost spellbook. I will give the movie this, that's one of the more clever plot points they come up with to get out of a jam. A little convenient, yes, but believe me, it's nothing compared to what we'll see later in the movie. Meanwhile, in the human world, Alex asks Gwen to the Halloween dance going on at the school, as chaperones or something, but Gwen hesitates because of the kids at home.
You guys go. I'll babysit Sophie.
Dylan, no, you've been looking forward to this for weeks.
Let's face it, Mom, I'm just not that into Halloween. I mean, I was hoping for a little social interaction, but you're the one that's got the date.
Did you ask Tiffany?
She was busy.
Samantha?
Boyfriend.
Julia?
She laughed so hard that milk came out of her nose.
Oh man, I actually kinda, sorta feel bad for Dylan here. Come on, movie, one of my favorite parts is relishing in how annoying Dylan is. Don't go making me feel all sad for him now. Poor guy. But after being told of Cal's true identity, Sophie determines that Alex must be a golem made by Cal, and the two race to the high school to save their mother. Yeah, Dylan gets to go to the dance after all.
Cindy, I found a great costume for the dance.
Yeah? Where are you supposed to be? El Geeko?
Oh, come on, I don't like this new me feeling sorry for Dylan thing.
Well, we're just rocking to the beat.
Yeah, that's better. Marnie and Luke end up at Gort's house in the past, but find out that Gort actually sold the spellbook to Kalabar 50 years prior, meaning that Cal only stole the other spellbook to ensure that Aggie and Marnie couldn't reverse the gray spell. Because Luke's spell was broken though, they assume that Marnie must have accidentally stumbled across the counter curse and try to remember what it was that she said. They realize that she said trap which is apart backwards, and discover that apart is the incantation for the gray spell. Jeez, lucky for them the spell was so short, right? Literally, to this point, every single spell that we've heard has been a sentence-long incantation, sometimes in Latin. But hooray for good luck, right? Back in the human world, Dylan and Sophie expose Alex to Gwen for being a golem made of toads. Ew. But Cal is hiding at the dance and planning to cast a spell at midnight that will change everyone wearing a mask into the monster that the mask represents. Marnie and Luke try to race back to the present to catch him, but have lost a time travel spell in Gort's house. They search around, but it's nowhere to be found, and all hope is lost. Until Mort nonchalantly suggests that they could use something called a timeline in his closet to travel to the present. Oh, come on now. Look, I'm willing to buy that this timeline thing exists. I really am. I'm even willing to buy why they didn't use it in the first place, because, you know, President Mort was under the gray spell and all. But this is kind of a time-sensitive mission. Why did Mort even bother wasting 15 minutes looking for this spell when he could have just used the timeline all along? It's not like he didn't know it existed. He acted like he just didn't want to use it. Ugh, plot holes just make my head hurt. So Luke and Marnie travel back to the present, break the gray spell on Aggie, and open the portal to the human world. But they're too late, as the portal closes at midnight, and Cal casts a spell turning everyone, including Gwen, into hideous monsters. Marnie decides to look for another loophole and uses the whole family to try and forcibly create a new portal.
The portal hasn't always been there. It was created by magic, and nobody's magic is stronger than ours, right?
I guess so.
No. You've got to believe it. And Dylan has to, too.
Why does Dylan have to exactly? I thought we made a big deal last movie about how if you turn 13 and you haven't started your magical training yet, that your powers go away. I mean, Dylan is clearly older than 13, and there's no way he's been doing magical training, so... You know what? The movie's almost over anyway. Just let it go. So they create a new portal, and Marnie confronts Cal and manages to get both spellbooks from him, which somehow manages to also transport him away. Aggie reverses the curse on the human world, changing everyone back to normal.
I don't know who put this all together, but let's have a big hand for the best Halloween party ever, huh?
Wait. We're just gonna ignore this? You won't just turn into monsters. And don't give me the whole, oh, they all thought it was a dream bit, because not all of them had changed. You just got undeniable proof of magic, and nobody's going to address this? Well, anyway, Marnie and Aggie travel back to Halloweentown, they break the gray spell, a portal is now open between the human world and Halloweentown all the time, and everyone lives happily ever after once again. So, that's Halloweentown 2, and honestly, I thought the first one was better. What disappointed me about this movie is that there were a lot of things that I thought were pretty cool elements from the first one that kind of disappeared here. I really liked Aggie's character, and she was out for about half the movie. I really loved the look and feel of Halloweentown, but obviously that wasn't a factor in this movie. But I think the biggest thing here was that so many of the rules of the world established in the first movie were just sort of ignored here. I'm willing to accept crazy and even silly world rules, but they have to at least stay consistent, or there's no point to even creating the rules. Now, I will say this, Halloweentown 2, I thought, did a far better job creating high stakes in the first movie. But even these high stakes sort of get watered down when you consider that the characters just keep Deus Ex Machinaing their way out of trouble. And I get it, especially in a kids movie, the heroes are always going to come out on top. But usually there's some suspension of disbelief, or at least a way to sort of figure out through foreshadowing how the heroes are going to get out of their current situation. Here, convenient solutions just come out of midair, so it sort of breaks the illusion of the film. So, at least in my opinion, where Halloweentown 2 is an alright movie, I'd stick to the original if you really want to get into the Halloween spirit. Well guys, that wraps up for me this week. Hope you all enjoyed, and let me know what your thoughts are on Halloweentown 2. Also be sure to subscribe to my channel, check out my last video, my next video, and if you like this review, be sure to check out a review of Halloweentown. Also be sure to follow me on Twitter for any updates with myself and the channel. And I'll see you all real soon.